Today we are talking about how to start an LLC in Nevada. Hi, my name is Eric, and in today's video I'm going to walk you through 3 different ways you can set up an LLC in Nevada. The first is using your state website, the second is using a free online legal tool, and the third is hiring an attorney. But I'm also going to have a tip on how you can save on hiring an attorney and get the first 15 minutes of that consult for free. But more important than any of that is there are 3 terms that I want you to be familiar with. Those terms are piercing the corporate veil, registered agents, and commingling funds. Now, if you're not familiar with these 3 terms, the way they pertain to the LLC you're going to be setting up is that they help to make sure that there are no cracks in your LLC. You want to make sure that you have a legit LLC and it's doing what it needs to do for your business. So to get started, why don't we look at the state website? Now, if you go to Google and you were to search Nevada LLC, the first organic listing down here is going to be the state website, and it is not pretty. So if you click on it, this may look different from time to time. So this particular time that I opened it, it actually looks correct. The last time I opened it, it looked like this, and it has kind of like stuff all over the place. This is pretty common occurrence with state websites. Unfortunately, they can be a little bit buggier. But what I do want to do is walk you through exactly what the cost is going to be and the different things you should be aware of. So Nevada Limited Liability Company. Now, hopefully your business is located in Nevada. Now, if somebody told you that you should set up in Nevada and you're outside of Nevada, I would not take that advice seriously, and I'd probably go with it talking to an attorney because that person may be steering you in the wrong direction. You hear this a lot. Typically, it's Nevada, Wyoming, and Delaware are the 3 states mentioned. You're not going to save a lot of money by getting set up in Nevada either, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So what you want though is the Limited Liability Company Articles of Organization, and that's going to open up here, and this is going to show you a form here, and you can work through that form. So as we scroll down this article here of organization, one of the things I want to highlight here is the step 2, registered agent for service of process. So this is one of the issues that I have with some of these online forms is they kind of breeze over certain aspects such as a registered agent. And I want to explain to you what a registered agent does and why they're important for your LLC. But before we do that, why don't we take a minute to explain what an LLC does and what it doesn't do? Because sometimes some people are confused with that. Some people think there may be a tax advantage for getting set up with an LLC. There is not. That is not why you set up an LLC. The reason you set up an LLC is strictly for limiting your liability for your company. Now, on the screen right here on the left-hand side, let's imagine that you have your business and you have your business assets. That could be your desk, your furniture, your office equipment, your office bank account. Now on the right-hand side, you have your personal assets. So these are things like your personal home, personal cars, personal bank accounts. What an LLC does is it draws a division between these 2 asset classes. That division is known as the corporate veil. But in the unfortunate case where an attorney is trying to sue you, what they're going to try to do is something called piercing the corporate veil. That is legal jargon for saying that they're going to try to find a crack in your LLC, and they're going to try to erase that division, that protection you have between your business assets and your personal assets. So when they sue you, they can come after not just your business, but also your personal assets. So of course, that is not something you want, and that's why it's so important to get set up with an LLC. And one of the ways that you can protect your LLC is through your registered agent. Now, on this particular form that we're looking at, again, they just kind of breeze over it. They say that this person needs to be within the state, and you just have to know, put down who your registered agent is. A lot of times people will like make it their friend or somebody that they, loosely know or something like that to save a few bucks. It's not a good idea because that registered agent is going to dot your I's and cross your T's for your LLC. Now, to learn a little bit more about registered agents, there's a good article here on InkFile. I'm going to talk about InkFile a little bit more, but they're a free online legal tool for setting up LLCs. And as we go down here, basically the registered agent is a third party. Then what they do is they collect official letters and correspondence from your Secretary of State. They help you with service of process notices. So if you are sued, making sure you're showing up to court. They do official federal government correspondence, information, and notifications. And they also have tax forms and requests for payments, along with requests to complete permits, company filings, or reports. So basically, they're dotting your I's and crossing your T's for your LLC, making sure there's no cracks in it, and making sure you're doing everything the way that you're supposed to be doing it. Now, if you want to go a different route than going through the state websites, which again, I think are a little bit limiting, what you can do is you can go through a service like InkFile. Now, if you go to the homepage of InkFile, you see that they have set up 500,000 businesses. They've been in business since 2004. But if you scroll down, you can see that you can get set up for as little as $0 plus state fee. So if you click Launch My Business, what you're going to do is select LLC, and then you're going to go down to Nevada. And then what we have here are 3 different packages, the silver, gold, and platinum. And you can see the package fee in all 3 starts at $0, goes up to $149 and $299, but the state fee for all three is $425. So this $425 state fee, you're not going to get around that whether you go through the state website, you go through InkFile, or you go through an attorney. You're going to have to pay the Secretary of State in Nevada that state fee. Now, one of the things with the silver package, they prepare and file the articles of organization for setting up your LLC. Unlimited name searches. You want to make sure you have a unique name in the state of Nevada. It's not already taken in the business category that you're within. And then also a free registered agent service for a year. So that's pretty cool because if you hire a professional registered agent, which I'd recommend, they're going to come with a cost. If you use InkFile for that, if you scroll down on this page, that's where you can see I've already highlighted this here, that it is just $119 annually after your first year. So first year is free, second year is $119, third year is $119. Again, use a professional registered agent service. You want to make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's so there's no cracks in your LLC. Now, with this tool here, if you wanted to upgrade into gold, that's where you can start to see some of the package fee kick in at $149. One of the things I want to highlight here is the EIN business tax number. So when I set up my own LLC, I did this myself. It was kind of a pain in the butt. And I should let you know, I'm not an attorney or a CPA. I'm just somebody who's done a lot of research on this. And I just want to give you the best information and resources for you so you can make the best decision for your needs. Now, if you want to do this on your own and you go with the silver package or going through the state website, the way you're going to set up that EIN business tax number is you're going to go to this resource here. And again, all links and resources mentioned in this video are in the description below. So that's where you'll find this link. And this is going to walk you through if you need an EIN, any frequently asked questions that you may have, and how to apply for it online. Definitely a pain in the butt, right? Because a lot of this stuff you may be unfamiliar with. And if you don't want to deal with the frustrations of that, you can get it in the gold package. The other thing I want to make mention of is the business banking account. Beginning of this video, we talked about commingling funds. So with commingling funds, basically what you're doing is if you have a personal account and you start running business transactions through it, you're commingling funds. And as you can guess, you're creating a crack in your LLC so that if you were sued, an attorney may say, hey, this person is commingling funds. This is not a legit LLC. I'm going to pierce the corporate veil. And I'm not only going to come after your business assets, but your personal assets as well. So it's really important that you separate from day one your business bank account. And the other reason why that's important is when it comes to accounting, it's a lot easier at year end to just, here's all my statements from the year from that business bank account, and it just makes everything a little bit cleaner, especially if you're integrating with a third-party app. So good idea to do that from day one. As I'm making this video, they're currently set up with Bank of America, and that's what that runs through. Now, if you do want to go with Platinum, there's business contract templates, expedited filing if you're in a rush, and also domain name and business email can be set up. But let's say you go with the gold package here. Now you'll see an itemized list here, $149 for the gold package, $425 for the state filing fee. The other thing I want to highlight is the tax savings benefit. So this is a fully deductible business expense. So right out of the gates, you're going to have a business expense for setting this up. Just make sure that no matter what route you go, that you save the receipts because you're going to want to deduct that at tax time. And as you can see, this is going to be a lot cleaner than going through a state website, which a lot of times can be, pretty ugly. If you're going through this online tool here with InkFile, it's going to be a lot easier to get set up. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is why you might want to hire an attorney. Now, the downside to an attorney is it might cost you $800 to $3,000 to get set up with an LLC through them. And that's because you got to pay for, their $250,000 of schooling that they had to do and go through to be an attorney. A cool thing about a service like InkFile is they've streamlined that and put it all into an online tool so they can offer that for free with just some upsells. But if you have a business that inherently carries more liability, now some businesses don't and some businesses do. If you had a tree trimming business, so you had employees that are literally climbing trees, cutting off giant branches and dropping them on the ground, that is a business that carries a lot of potential liability. The opposite end of the spectrum, let's say that you had a business where, you were coaching little kids in soccer or something, right? And they're 5-year-olds, and you're teaching them how to kick a soccer ball, and that's your business. Like, not a ton of liability there. So you have to make the determination if you have a high liability business or if you're already earning income in and out of state and you're not sure how to handle that with domestic and foreign LLCs, or if you're trying to get cute and set up a Nevada LLC and you're not sure if you're doing the right thing there, you may want to consult with an attorney. Now, easy way to find one in Nevada, if that's the route you're going, is a service called Avo. It's a free lawyer directory service. And the reason I like it is you can easily look at all Nevada liability company lawyers, and you can see that there's 41 of them. But if you go down here, little tip, there's this button here, free consultation. If I click this, it's going to drop me from 41 attorneys to 9. So now I'm looking at 9 attorneys with reviews who offer a free 15-minute consult to discuss any questions you might have about setting up your LLC. So that's a pretty cool feature of this tool, and that's why I always recommend it. Again, not affiliated with them right now in any ways, just think it's a cool tool. And again, I will include this link in the description below. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is on the screen here, you'll see an ink file review. At about the 2:30 mark of that video, what I'm going to do is walk you through an S-Corp Tax Calculator on their website. Now, this is really helpful if you're already making income or you plan to make net income beyond $40,000, $60,000 a year. It's going to show you how you can potentially save on taxes. And again, guys, thank you for using the links in the description below, as the paid links help to support my YouTube channel. And I look forward to catching you guys in that next video.